Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited. Next Falcon Heavy launch will use 2 previously flown cores. Rolls-Royce targets 2024 electric airplane speed record attempt. And airlines cancel hundreds of flights due to GPS failure. Welcome to the show. I'm Sophie Herlock. When SpaceX launches a Falcon Heavy booster on June 22nd, it will use 2 previously flown engine cores. The flight part of the DoD Space Test Program 2 will be the first time Falcon Heavy has flown on reused boosters and the 3rd Falcon Heavy flight overall. The 2 side boosters will be the previously flown engines. They were used to launch the Arabsat 6A satellite in April. The cores, which are the more powerful Block 5 variant of the booster, landed back at the Kennedy Space Center after the launch. The next mission for the U.S. Air Force and Missile Space Center will carry 24 satellites into space. SpaceX says the mission is among the most challenging launches in the company's history, with 3 deployment orbits and a propulsive passivation maneuver. The mission is expected to last a total of about 6 hours. Along with deploying the satellites, the mission will gather data for future national security space launch missions and demonstrate the reliability of reusable boosters in the Missile Systems Center. The launch is currently set for 11:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time from the Launch Complex 39-A at the Kennedy Space Center. We'll be right back with Around the Patch.
Build and fly with the most exciting line of kit aircraft on the market, the Sonex Aircraft B models. The B models offer more room and comfort, more fuel, more panel space, more engine choices, and the same great Sonex Aircraft flight characteristics. Learn more at sonexaircraft.com.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
With all this news coming out of the aviation industry, let's take a trip around the patch. On April 24, 1982, the first ever airplane powered by the CFM56 engine, a Delta Airlines DC-8-72 powered by the CFM56-2, took to the skies. In the years after that, CFM International will go on to add 7 additional engine models to that. Today, power more than 20 different commercial and military aircraft types for more than 600 operators. Recently, the CFM56 fleet established a new world record by becoming the first aircraft engine family in aviation history to achieve 1 billion engine flight hours. An American Airlines E-175 departing from El Paso for Chicago was forced to make an emergency landing back at the airport last week. Flight 3880 initially departed from El Paso at about 1300 local time, but returned to the airport after the crew reported a mechanical issue. The plane was checked out by a maintenance crew, which cleared it to depart, and did so at around 1600. But about 4 minutes into the second flight, it returned to KELP for another emergency landing. The reason for that second return has not been reported. JetBlue is among the carriers that is looking at the Airbus A321XLR, which industry analysts believe will be introduced this summer at the Paris Air Show. The airplane will be the latest variant of the A321neo. JetBlue CEO Robin Hayes said that the airline has already decided to convert 13 of its A321neo orders into a longer-range A321LR, as it looks to expand into routes between New York, Boston, and London in 2021. Icelandair anticipates the Boeing 737 MAX will be grounded for an extended period of time and is taking steps to minimize the impact on its passengers. The carrier has dismissed 45 737 MAX pilots. The layoffs include 21 new pilots who are still training to fly the airplane, and 24 pilots who began their training last fall. The dismissals were announced at a training session with a group of pilots. We'll be right back with the rest of the news.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Today is a new dawn.
With a new name.
Un nuevo logotipo.
A new factor.
Und einem globalen Kundenfokus.
We are Continental Aerospace Technologies, and we stand behind you.
Rolls-Royce anticipates its ACCEL, accelerating the electrification of flight airplane, will attempt to break the speed record for an electric airplane next year. And the plane is also looking like a contender in the Reno Air Race. The ACCEL is currently undergoing flight trials in Gloucestershire Airport in England. The program is intended to pioneer a third wave of aviation in support of Rolls-Royce's strategy to champion electrification. The ACCEL team brings together some of the top minds from the world of Formula E racing to help design the E-Racer. The plane will be powered by a state-of-the-art electrical system and the most powerful battery ever built for flight. ACCEL has the most energy-dense battery pack ever assembled for an aircraft, providing enough power to fly 200 miles, London to Paris, on a single charge. 3 motors on the ACCEL will design to produce a combined 500 horsepower driving a low RPM propeller. Regional carriers operating for American, United, and Delta Airlines were forced to cancel hundreds of flights over the last weekend due to an issue with their GPS system. The FAA issued an advisory saying, certain aircraft equipped with the Rockwell Collins GPS 4000-100 and select ADS-B out GPS receivers are indicating ADS-B fail, unavailable, TCAS fail, or transponder fail messages. The FAA Command Center is suspending pre-coordination with DCC of those aircraft impacted by the Rockwell Collins GPS issue that have working transponders. Aircraft without working transponders must still coordinate as per directive. Aircraft must file the appropriate equipment suffice consistent with the aircraft capability to ensure access to RVSM airspace. The FAA issued a later advisory issuing a blanket waiver for all flights experiencing the issue, but said affected flights must file flight plans keeping them below FL280 using RNAV routing. If you are unable, you must file via traditional airways and or NavAids. This blanket approval is only valid until June 10th, 0400Z, the advisory stated. The FAA said it was working to determine the cause of the problem, which may have resulted from a software update to the aircraft navigation systems. And that wraps up our week, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, tweet, and like us. And for the latest aviation and aerospace news, head over to aero-news.net. Thanks for watching.